What is happening, gentlemen? Hope you guys are doing well and fantastic. If you're not, as I always say, there's always tomorrow. But with that being said, the last time I left you guys, I left you with a little short saying the shorts will slow down and I'll be moving to more long form content. So welcome to DJ Talks podcast. And with the first episode, speaking about done with school, what do you do now? The reason why I want to speak about that is basically I saw a tweet speaking about it, and I respectfully disagree to their answer, saying, well, you're flustered and everything. Don't worry about it. You know, no one should be expected to study more after they just studied 12 years of their life and put 12 years of their life to just dedicating. No one should just jump straight into studying. And respectfully, I disagree because it's coming from a place of, well, geez, you done 12 years. You deserve a break. You deserve it. You know, unfortunately, life it doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, just because you've spent 12 years of life doesn't mean now life is and time is going to stop for you so you can have a break, chill back and be absolutely in your own, element and not worry about anything. It doesn't work like that. It's unfortunate. It would be nice. And a lot of people that take gap years, if you've noticed, realize that what if they just didn't take a gap year? Like, it would have been, they would have had a whole year to actually figure out things. I think one thing that should be done is if you're not going to university and you can't afford to go to university, like myself, I couldn't afford it. And you just don't really know where you go. You're not going to do a trade because it's not your thing, but now you don't know what to do. Right? You're stuck. You're overwhelmed. Right? You just spent 12 years of your life and you're like, what the hell do I do? And even for people that are doing trade, even people that are doing university are still flustered because they're busy thinking, oh, am I going to fit in this job? Am I going to make friends or am I going to make enemies in this job? And likewise, university, am I going to pass? Am I going to make my parents happy? Am I going to make new friends? That's the crazy thing. And with university, it's like, well, what if I don't actually like what I'm doing? Like I may say I want to do it now, but what if? And then if you're the person that just can't do university and isn't doing a trade, you're like, well, flip, man, what do I do? I want you guys to just slow down that crazy thought process, right? Just bring it back. That's the only thing I'll say that is right. Take a chill pill to just bring yourself to a mellow, all right? So in South Africa, we have 12 years of school, and this can also apply for you guys overseas and everything. But you'll be done with school, matric, you get to last year, grade 12, matric, you do your matric finals, you pass, right? You pass, it's done. But before you pass, because you only found out in January if you pass, you have this long December. You finish at the end of November. Some people only in beginning December, right? But think about it. If you're not going on vac, sometimes you go away with the family, but also you chill, you relax. Oh, now you on holiday with the rest of the country because it's our summertime. But not only than that, if you are going to university, you still go January and you still go most of February because most universities only start in late February and early March, right? So you got all this time and you can relax, right? Take the time, yeah, reflect, enjoy. Don't get me wrong. If you finish 12 years of school and in January it says you passed, we can celebrate that. Celebrate the end of 12 years by going on vac and enjoying and resting or going away with your family or whatever the case is. And then when you come in Jan and it says you passed in the newspaper or online when you search, yes, go bonkers, go berserk. It's worth, you deserve it, right? You deserve it. But I think having the notion of like, no, fuck that. Just done 12 years, like, what the fuck? I'm not going to go and study. Like, what are you mad? I just spent 12 years of this shit. I'm just gonna park back. Like, I deserve this shit, man. Like, no, life, you wait for me. Time, you wait for me. In reality, time and life waits for no one. It don't give a damn how many years you spent in school, how many times you grinded your ass off in studying, right? It doesn't wait. And this heads me into the thing that I'm going to try and explain, right? Time can either be your ally or it can be your enemy. And by that I mean is this. You could either look at time and say, okay, this is the amount of time I got. Break it up into smaller sections. What can I do in this time? How can I make it most effective to work for me, right? Or you can be like, fuck it. I'm a relax. I got all the time in the world, all the time to just rest on my laurels, to not care. Before you know it, you are parking, you sitting, late 20s, early 30s, and you're like, fuck, I'm not doing what I wanted to. I don't feel happy. I feel nothing. I feel like I'm achieving nothing. I feel like I'm, you get all these senses. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've been there. I am there. I'm changing my mindset and trying to make things work for me again. And that's the beauty of it. When time becomes your enemy, it doesn't mean it has to stay your enemy. Because the funny thing about time, although it keeps moving and it can feel like it's just getting away from you, and the same with life, it just carries on. It carries on whether you're here or not, carries on whether you sit or do something, everything carries on. The great thing about it, you can catch up with time. You can catch up with life. You have the ability. It's like the thing when people tell you, it doesn't mean because you're 50, you can't buy a house. It doesn't mean because you're 50, you can't learn. And that is the reality. Time is relative and different for every person. Just because we're going to put this in a progress bar. Just because your progress bar is only half and you need it full because someone that's your age has it complete out and their progress bar is full and it just keeps going. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter. Just because your bar is half and their bar is full and you're the same age, it doesn't mean anything. Your life is different to someone else's, and it's as simple as that. Once you accept that and understand that, and it's a hard thing to accept because it is difficult to look around and look at your peers and look at your friends who are your age and they're there up there, their progress bar is full, but it just keeps filling. It's going past the end and it's just going. It's hard to accept that. I understand that. It was hard for me to accept. It was hard for me to understand and realize that we're not all on the same path. Some people's path will be straight with very few ups and downs and very few lefts and right. And then your path will be up, down, left, right, and all over the place. You just don't know what the hell is going on. And then you look back, and you're like, fuck, I didn't take that gap year. Fuck, if I did take a gap year but utilize that time to figure out plans because I don't know what's going on. Figure out plans. Fuck, if I took that first year of university and just like really push to figure out if this is for me or start researching another course and seeing what the course entails to see if it's something that interests me, And that's one thing I gotta say, like, I feel at a certain point in high school, like they should say, start thinking about university if you want to go to university, but research the hell out of that course. Like, try and see if you could find videos of how this lecturer is teaching things or how the course is set up and, try and figure, because I think nothing's worse than spending 4 years, 5 years, 6 years in a course that you absolutely despise, but you're doing it because your parents pay for it or this, whatever, but you just find yourself stuck in it. Nothing's worse than that because you hate it, you don't want it, and then when you finish the course, you get your degree, whatever, yeah, great, well done. You end up being in a job that you actually not really passionate about, and you find yourself, 35, I'm just doing this, because like I studied it and, I got a degree in it and I'm just doing it, but I don't really enjoy it. I just want to do it, like, yeah, money's alright, yeah, but yeah, the money's alright, but just look at your demeanor, look at, So if you finish school, so we wrap around back here. Time can be your ally or it can be your enemy. Let's wrap around. You finish school, you finish matric, you went on vac, or you took the time to rest, right? So now you come into the new year, See that you pass, freaking great. If you're someone that can go to university, go. Don't be afraid. Genuinely, don't be afraid, because here is the reality. The end of school is the end of one chapter and is the beginning of a whole nother massive chapter. It's the beginning of finding out who you are, seeing how you handle stress, seeing how you handle life, seeing how you handle work, relationships after school. It's the beginning of another chapter. And going to university, right, is not the be all and end all if you can't, and we'll get to that. But going to university is essentially the start of your life, like what you want to do. You know, if you want to be a doctor, you're going to be flipping, studying out your mind, you know, going and being, what do they call it? You know, when you go and you like a trial doctor. I know that's not the word, but you go, whatever it is, you go in and now you're practical. You're doing your practical. You are in a hospital for a year, you know, and you're trying to learn things, you know, and you're like, okay, I really love this, right? But think back from it. All that studying and everything. Imagine if you took the time to go back, relax, and just, you know, just park off and be like, nah, I just finished toilet, stuff this shit, man. Yeah. You know, 1 year passes by, you've done really nothing. Imagine how far you could have been already now. You would have been done 1 year of a really long process to becoming a doctor. You would have already done that year, right? Think of it as you've got the up edge on yourself. You've given yourself an advantage, a year advantage. Because now, imagine within that year that you took to lay back and worry about nothing, like, no, 12 years, I deserve this. Life revolves around me. Me. Everything me, right? And yes, you dictate. But now imagine in that year, you just don't give a shit about anything, right? And I'm not talking about people who take a gap year to literally go travel the world. Because if they have that luxury, it is a very fantastic thing to do. Right, but I'm talking about the people who just park off and really rest up and, you know, don't even try and get a job or whatever, right? And you know, they just say, I deserve this rest. And they want to be a doctor. And what if in that year, so many things happen that just, you're like, fuck it. Why would I want to be a doctor? Look how flipping fantastic this year was. I just got laid back. I didn't have to do shit, man. Imagine this now. Now I gotta go study. Let me tell you something. Reason why you jump into studying straight after finishing school is because you're still in that mindset. You're still in that process of waking up, going in, studying, assignments and stuff. When you take this from me, everybody, please. When you listen, after school, I want to make, I was bartending, I was doing work and stuff, but I still saw how nice it was when, like, I was in off time. I was like, oh, just gotta relax. That feeling of not having to worry to wake up to go to school, to do assignments, do homework. I never did homework, but to do all that and then get to the point, oh damn, okay, cool, I'm not gonna go on break now, but I don't want to study anymore. Like, what the hell? Like, I just relax. You get so out of that habit that you don't want to go back in it, because you're out of the habit and you look at the habit and you're like, that's a horror. Like, that's a horror. How many of you love doing assignments? How many of you like doing homework and shit like that? How many of you genuinely enjoy school so much and everything, right? The only thing I enjoy about school was seeing my friends. Waking up, like, oh, I'm gonna be my friends. We just gonna have a fucking laugh today, right? So yeah, that year could mold so much. Time goes ahead of you and pushes so far of you that your mindset is not, it's like, well, fuck. And before you know it, you're 35, you're in a dead-end job, and you're not doing what you wanted to do. So now bringing it back. Now you're on the other scope. You can't afford university. You finished school. You finished matric. You've done it. You passed. Everything's fantastic. And you've finished, but you can't go to university. You cannot afford it, right? You can do a trade if you wanted to, but you can't afford a trade. Now you can't. You're in a little bit of position that I was in. The one thing that I wish I had done was take the time to realize that it's not the be all and end all. That there's ways around this, work around it, put effort into other things. So, you can't afford university. Fuck, what do you do this year? Well, try and get a bartending job. Try and get a part-time job. Try and get a full-time job, right? Why I say more on the part-time job, reason being, give you a little bit more time to try and figure out, well, I can't go to university. What do I do? Start jotting down little ideas, little things. Try and figure out what's your best plan of action. You know, if I can't study, how can I study? Can I maybe utilize the internet? Which right now, a lot of people, let me tell you something. If you're not really doing engineering, being a doctor, architecture and stuff like that, and you're doing a lot of stuff that revolves around the PC and everything, coding, graphic design stuff, you can do all of that online. Like you did, and create a portfolio, create a fucking portfolio, right? So do that. But now you got a part-time job. You ticked it off. Okay, cool. So you're busy. Now you're busy for this year that you're not taking a break. You're putting emphasis into getting part-time jobs so you get a bit of money so you can go out now and then. Because I'm not saying don't go out, don't enjoy yourself, because you can. And we'll get back to why you can. And get back to why you can do everything in your 20s. Right? So now you got this part-time job. And on the days you're not working, start jotting out a plan. Like, okay, cool. I want to run a business. I want to have my own business. Okay, well, what kind of business? And say, okay, do that. And that's your plan. That's one plan, right? Say. Then coming up, if I had to work for someone, what would I want to do? Oh, listen, I like a bit of coding. I like designing stuff. Okay, there's two. There's two things. Right? Actually, I quite like, like managing, marketing and stuff like that. Like, then you're like, okay, cool. Then, you can do Google ad stuff and Google AdSense. Write that down. That's 3 different job plans. So now you got 4 plans. Business, 3 jobs. All right, now you got the 4. Now we'll stick with 4. Okay. How do I do that? So right now with coding, there's Code Academy, there's Udemy, there's Coursera. There's another site I can't remember, but now you can utilize that and you can have an online piece of paper, right? You can do all these things, especially Code Academy. Code Academy seems to be flipping amazing and so in depth on what you can do and how much stuff you can learn on coding and how to create apps, how to be a full stack developer, how to integrate your coding to use SQL so you can access databases and stuff like that, etc. Then there's a whole bunch of sites. Like I went on Udemy and I finished my course on graphic design. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can now do, right? So it's like, okay, you got work, so you're getting yourself a bit of money so that you don't have to always rely on your parents. You got a roof over your head, you really got food, right? You don't have to really rely on your parents then to keep asking them for money. So you got a part-time job, and while you're busy, oh listen, I can study. When you're not working, then you can study. I'm not saying study 24/7. Do not get me wrong, but utilize time. Utilize time properly. Make it your ally. I'm like, okay, I work this many hours. I want a little bit of gaming time or reading time or whatever. Okay, still got to get that studying. I want to get 2 hours of studying. Right, study 2 hours. And if on the business side, okay, cool. I got this amount of time of work. I got this amount of time of free time. Okay, how can I break that up? Have a little bit of gaming time, then have my sleep time. Okay, this is the type of business I want to do. You want to do a fashion, like a clothing business? Okay, cool. Start researching. Now you got the research done. Okay, now how do we implement it? Utilize time effectively, because you do not want to waste time. Because when you waste time, it becomes your enemy. Trust me on this, it becomes your enemy. But the best thing about it, so I give you a bit of motivation. Even though time becomes your enemy, it can become your ally again. You can catch up with it. But the difference is you need to set the mindset of, I don't want mediocre. I don't want this kind of life. I don't want to be in a job that's, it's just a dead end job. I don't want to be in that position. I want to be in a job that I at least enjoy. I want to be financially stable, etc., etc. I want to have this business, but understand that if you want to have a business, you got to put in the time. Can't go to university where you got to put in the time to make effort into trying to study via YouTube, Google, other sites like Coursera, Udemy, Code Academy if you want to do coding, and even cybersecurity is a massive thing now, and you can do that on there. Code Academy is a monthly subscription. It's cheaper than university. It's teaching you exactly what university is teaching you, but don't waste the time. If you have the ability, yes, to have a gap year, but your gap year should be 6 months to a year of you traveling, because the experience and the different cultures, that is something beneficial. Don't get me wrong, right? But don't be that person. I'm done with 12 years. I'm just going to chill back. I'm going to relax, man. I deserve this. Because the reality is, yes, you deserve it. You did something great. You finished 12 years. You finished matric. You passed the final exams. But you had the whole of December to kind of relax and everything and stress. And other people go straight from Jan. They go straight into a job that they knew they were going into, either a family or someone they knew. Other people are going straight into their trade stuff. And then other people are having January and majority of February off, because end of February, early March, university now starts. But don't make time your enemy. And even if you're going to university, don't be afraid of it. Yes, you finish 12 years. Yes, it's crap that you got to go 12 years of studying, now into more studying, but rather than later, rather get that year out of the way, because use the time in that year to really figure out if this is what you want to do, because you don't want to be in a position where you've now finished this year and you're like, I got to do it. I don't like it, but we just carry on. And then next month, you 4 years, finish your degree, and you hate what you studied. You hate what you're doing. And it's not you hate studying, you hate what you studied. So then you end up going in a job that you don't actually enjoy. I wish I took the time to realize that I don't need to have everything figured out, but I must at least be doing stuff to figure my life out. Your 20s, ladies and gentlemen, you're 18, 19, and your 20s. Right? And listen, you can still figure things. No one has anything figured out. Even people that are in their 50s don't have everything figured out, but they have they have a chunk figured out. But when you're in your 20s, you have nothing figured out. Don't try and figure things out. Don't try and think you need try figure things out, but don't think you need to have everything figured out. Your 20s is your years to make all the mistakes. We make mistakes throughout life, but failure can lead to success. Success can lead to a happy life. Simple as that. You want to start a business, do it in your 20s. Oh, you failed. Well, guess what? Try again. Try again. Oh, it's not working. You trying everything. Well, try and figure out what you're not doing. Maybe that will work. And if it's still not working off that, then go into the next business idea. Go to the next business idea. But your 20s, like this one guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he's a big business person and everything. And he's always on podcasts and stuff. But he says something that's so true and stuck with me, and you guys should remember. Your 20s is your time to try everything. Do everything as much as possible, because guess what? You have all the energy in the world to sleep the least and still do the most. And you think I'm lying? For those of you that like going out a lot, and for those of you that enjoy partying and drinking and all of that, right? How many times you'll drink, get the least amount of sleep, wake up with a hangover and be tired, yes. But by 12 o'clock, you're ready. And when it comes 4 o'clock again and there's another party, you go into that party. You have, even when you feel like you're tired, let me tell you something, you have the energy and the time in your 20s to sleep the least and do the most. I'm just saying, utilize time effectively so that it doesn't become your enemy, and rather let it be your ally, right? Yes, it's crap. You know, of 12 years, you either got to go do your trade or go straight into a job or straight into university. But the reality is, life's not going to stop you. Time's not going to stop you. But if you're going to be the big man and be like, try and act like a big man. No, I deserve the rest and everything. Like, I'm going to take my time. No, it's okay. You know, pat yourself on it. Like, yeah, celebrate what you've done, what you've achieved. You finished 12 years. Celebrate it. Don't get me wrong. Celebrate it. I have no problem. Do that. I did it. I celebrated, but I wish I had done more. Yes, I went bartending, got stuff, but had I thought more out the box, had I done, maybe I'd be a bit further than what I am. Maybe I'd be in a position I'm actually a little bit more content with what I am. But the difference is, I know that maybe I should have done more, but I'm not gonna, you know, willow away and like, I should have done more, get depressed about it. Because the difference is, yeah, shit's shit now and life's a bit trash and I wish it was better. But you know what the reality is? It's not the end. You know, I'm going to be 28 soon, but it's not the end. And this is what I want you guys to remember. If you end up in this position, and try not to, again, utilize time effectively. But if you end up in this position, you're like, fuck, man, I wish I did more. I wish I did more, right? Yeah, cool. You wish you did more. Well, do more now. Because you still have the luxury to do more now. You have the luxury to do more when you're 35. You have the luxury to do more when you're 40. But don't wait till then. Do something now. And that's my mindset. It's like, yeah, shit. But I'm going to do the best I can to make things happen now. Because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the way my life is now. I'm tired of thinking, I could have done more, should have done more. Could have, would have, should have, but didn't. Right? So stop acting like that. Time's not going to wait for you. So don't waste the time. Don't waste time on like, 12 years, I deserve the break. Because guess what? Life don't give you a break. Time don't give you a break. We give ourselves breaks. And it's okay to rest. I've said this in a short. It's okay to rest. But be smart about the rest. Work as hard as you can, the most you can, put the most effort you can to the point where you literally feel like, okay, hold on. I need to get back. The situation is too much. It's fogging up my mind. The scenario is too much. I need to step back. Rest my body just for a little bit so that my mind can defog and look at the situation from outside. That is all right. It is okay. Yes, take a little break, but to literally realign and focus, to jot down the plan. I can't go to university. Okay, what can I do? Get a part-time job. Check. Boom. Okay, cool. What can I do in the free time when I'm not working the part-time job? Okay, maybe I can study online, learn something online, maybe go do Google AdSense, try so many different things. Research basically is just research a whole bunch of things that you can do. You want to do your own business. Okay, how do I do that business? Okay, this is the type of business I want to do. Research. How do I do that? Once you research and you know, do it, start jotting out, okay, this is what I need to do to get to that point, and use the part-time job to literally fund that. Try things. If you fail, guess what? Fucking hell. School teaches us that failing is terrible, but failing is necessary for success, and success equals greatness and happiness. So don't be afraid to fail. We all have to pass. The sad thing about school and universities, it is drilled into us that you just gotta pass. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's the be all and end all. You fail, you are a failure. But the reality is you're not. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Especially in universities, why it hits so hard on failing, and on people on failing. It's because the thing called money. Because now you have to spend more money to stay. And if you had a scholarship and bursary, all that's now gone. And that's the sad reality. But the true reality about failing, you're going to fail many times through your life. You already have. And you're going to fail some more. It's not to say you can't redo things in university if you fail. It's not to say you can't redo things in school if you fail. But it's so bred in that failure is a no-no. When in fact, failure can equal success. But failure only equals success if you get the fuck up and do shit. If you get up and say, I failed, but I'm still pushing on, because it doesn't matter, because it's not the be all and end all of me. So I'm just going to leave you with this. You finish school. Give you a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a pat on the back. But don't make it like it's the biggest thing in the world, because there's still so much more for you to achieve. Don't waste time celebrating those 12 years. Celebrate, but don't waste time in just constantly celebrating and thinking you deserve a break. Because again, you need to understand that after school is legitimately the beginning of your life, whether you're in a university, whether you're going to trade school to get a trade, or whether you're making your own business, right? Put the effort in. You have all the time and ability in your 20s to do the most and sleep the least. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you got through these 12 years well flipping done. But for the love of everything that's good, not waste time. Utilize it. If you're going to go on a gap year, right? Please utilize the gap year to literally come up with 20,000 ideas to try and make something happen. If it's 1% a day, guess what? In a whole year, that's 365% that year that you progressed. If you studied 1 hour a day, that's 30 hours a month of studying. Utilize time. Make it your ally, not your enemy. But remember, even though it's your enemy, it can become your ally again. You can always catch up with time. Time is relative and different for everyone. Just because someone's so far along and you're the same age doesn't mean you need to be where they are. Right? Sometimes life just gives you a terrible path, and you got ups, downs, left, rights, you in the sky, you down on the ground. It's okay. Breathe. Take it slow. Understand that sometimes this is the way life's going to be. But make the best of it. Life can be shit, but your mindset can make it look a whole lot different. Your mindset is what gets you through difficult times. So, all you youngsters out there that have literally finished school, congrats. But now's the start. Now's the beginning of the rest of your life, right? And you did the 12 years, great. Well done. But now, put every single effort into all plans. Study hard if you're going to study. But figure out, if you're not enjoying that study, you make a change right then and then to research other things, research other courses and other avenues that actually interest you. Because now you got there, and it's because unfortunately something you will get into and be like, well, fuck, this is actually not really what I want to do. So in that time that you don't really want to do this, carry on, or speak up and say you're not enjoying this, and start researching another course, right? Make the change before it's too late. Before you end up with a degree that you don't really like, and you're in the job that you don't really enjoy, and you're just like, oh, well, okay, this is my life, okay. And you just a mopey motherfucker. Don't be that, right? Congrats on finishing the 12 years. But use time as your ally. You finish school. It's amazing. It's the best feeling ever. But don't let that feeling and that excitement consume you to the point you've wasted so many years. That you've just gotten to a point of, well, I've just wasted shit, right? Do the most in your 20s, fail. Even if you're 28 like me, you realize, damn, I should have done more. Well, then start doing more. Because you can do it. You're worth it. You woke up, so do it. Don't stop, don't give up. Just put the effort in. The world gives out a good return to people who are willing to put in the time and effort. It's why they always put the time and effort. So well done on finishing school. For the love of those all good, don't waste the time. Don't wallow and think that you deserve this time now, that you're the big man and everything. All right. I'm happy, and I'm so glad you guys finished 12 years, because it's an unnecessary one. Like, well, it's a necessary one, but it's just a drag, and I understand that. I can understand getting to a point at the end and be like, what do I do now? Like, I don't want to, and I just freaking have a break, and I don't want to work. I want to just rest, but life and time's not going to wait for you. So utilize it wisely, right? But congrats on finishing school again. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you take away something from this. Don't stop pushing. Never quit. Utilize time as your ally. But if it becomes your enemy, you can catch up with it again. You can make it your ally. But with that being said, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day and week. Drink water, and I'll check you in the next.